in the perspicacitum, which, to vernacularize, could be any kind of columbarium or reinsepticator that held the various affronts to middle management that we pick when we eat rice. Anyway, in those kinds of environs and pantsuits, when the orally disabled have no time for French rolls or TV sets with old-fashioned bunny ears, some kinds of rigmarole become appealing beyond their intentions and beyond the flavor that might be imparted to a fillet made out of their gumbo nation. So, corralling these expediencies creates a mnemonic effervescence that wouldn't be out of place in an ice-capade or some other showing of frenetic disambiguation. And the railing that could be balustraded or verticulated in the kind of resampling that's done in the musical productions of Pierre. Rallies with a rococo sense of inquiry and post-intimidational realliances. For when that kind of broth is supped, that kind of, the head on the bubbling Guinness of iniquity, if that becomes the depth or a kind of bowels deep frottage, then once or twice the elevators that were wrapped around the dirigible-like ephemera can't combine or at least allude to the recombinant in a way that would cause several or few proto-pumpkins to sneeze out their bindered intentions. I, perhaps, were I withholding the rotundra, and in the case of a cardinal misplacement, I might find that my sheets and linens were soiled by a kind of bird-like chocolatiering. And, well, what I wouldn't want is to carry these burdens for a frontspiece that was made with confetti and glitter besmirched clay. So when we apprehend the roots of dissemination, and when we object to the abjectness of our cloakings, and there's a kind of hem that billows and underbillows, and it can be held like a balloon in the breastplate of, what's the stuff on teeth? It's not plaque, but enamel. Yes, the undergarments that are enameled among our haberdasheries. When decorated with this kind of glitter and seraphindium, come into their own remonstrance like a porcupine, and the quills can poke out from the fabric, so that if you're trying to caress and if you're trying to embrace, these saphinating repundricles are going to make this affection become mere over tenderized meat. So I can't, in good conscience, gather to myself the rock steadiness and the Hammond colored rotating almond fests, and were I given to the kind of ballooning that was popular in the 18th century, I would have a handle, and not exactly the kind of handle that was made of ivory and perhaps scrimshawed into a technique festooning nostrum, but the kind of handle that, when gripped, shapes itself to your knuckles and to the eddies of some perspiration-worn crenellations that could be detected if there was a siege upon your palm skin. And that sort of handle, whether it's around a letter opener or around a rapier, kind of invites the gestures for which the implement was designed. And in a similar way, to stand and perhaps do a kind of mazurka when ringed by, well, awful bare midsections. Could be humiliating, or could be ingratiating, or could be elevating, could cause a bodily flush that in every well-worn wish book causes enthusiastic clapping from the assembled resplendentry. So I corrugate my nasal passages, and I like to flap my udder. And when these things have been calculated past the tolerance of any 12 nerds, I will have the hasp and the frontspiece that I deserve. Thanks for listening. Comments welcome.